Hey, what's up everybody? This is Todd Bowen from sittingposture.com. Welcome to today's video, Computer Posture Mistakes and Fixes, episode 22. Let's go over this first picture right here. First thing I noticed is this guy's got some lower back pain going on, probably due to the lack of support on the back support of his chair. He's got some decent lumbar support on this chair, but I would definitely go to say that he probably, it's tough to tell from this angle, but he probably doesn't lean back far enough. He definitely doesn't take advantage of his back support enough because it's not high enough. If this thing went up to his shoulders, he could take a better advantage of the back support, and we'll show you another picture in a few seconds about that. But yeah, definitely once we slouch forward this upper body, even in the shoulder area, what it does is sets off a chain reaction throughout the back, and very often the end result is lower back pain, even though the cause of the problem is up here, rounding of the shoulders, slouching forward, head looking down at a monitor as opposed to head looking straight. All those things are triggers that cause lower back pain. So that's what sticks out. Oh, he's got a laptop right here, so he's definitely looking down at that. An extended monitor, in this case, would definitely do him a lot of good, as well as an extended keyboard and extended mouse. This picture here, kind of tough from this angle to talk about, but I do want to mention that she's got her laptop at an angle. Working at an angle can cause a lot of muscle confusion, even just the slightest angle. If we hold that for a long-term period of time, what it does is it shortens a muscle on one side of the body and it overextends a muscle on the other side of the body. So that's creating muscle confusion. And it's one thing to move like that. It's another thing to hold that position for 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, 2,000 hours a year. So I try to stay as symmetrical as possible when I'm working on a computer, and that will eliminate a lot of muscle confusion. That doesn't mean we're safe from repetitive strain or overuse injuries. Even when we have good posture, we can use muscles too much, but at least they are more balanced, and at least there's not that side-to-side, left versus right confusion going on if we are sitting asymmetrically like she is right here. I would definitely turn this laptop flat in front of her. If she's got to write something, I would write that off to the side is what I would do. I wouldn't keep my computer off to the side. All right, here's the one I was talking about earlier. Over here on the left, she's not taking advantage of the back support like the guy in the first picture was not. Over here, you can tell her back support's higher, which is good. It's not all the way up, but it's definitely much better, and she's taking advantage of it. We don't necessarily need to lean back 100% of our body weight from our torso into our back support, but maybe like 50%, something like that. We just want to take some of the gravity, some of the effect off of what gravity does to our upper torso. We just need to lighten the load of our upper torso, which will in turn lighten the load that we put on our core muscles, abdomen, lower back muscles. So using the back support will take a load off of the weight of our torso. A couple other things to mention here since we've got this picture up. I like this picture a lot. Notice here the picture on the left, she's got her elbows below the desk, which is a position I used to make this mistake myself. Speaking from experience, you've probably heard me talk about this on multiple videos before, but it's such a great point. I want to keep talking about it. Forgive me if you've already heard it. But anyway, if that elbow is below the desk level, in order to lift the hands up onto the keyboard and the mouse, she's got to contract her bicep right here. And it's not a big deal. She just does it for a second. But if she holds it there for 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, holding that bicep in that same position is going to cause a lot of dysfunction in her elbow, as well as shoulder pain, believe it or not. This is a big cause for shoulder pain at computers, especially in my case. So the biceps are contracted all day long. Two tendons connect those bicep muscles to the shoulder. So those tendons are the ones that are going to get inflamed and painful before that bicep is. We may not even notice there is an issue with our bicep, because it's still going to work well and it's not really going to hurt, but it's going to be way too tight and way too short. It's going to pull on those shoulder tendons and cause inflammation and pain there. Over here on the right, you'll notice how her elbow is slightly higher. She actually lowered her desk, which is cool. And she lowered her desk and she raised her monitor. Look at the monitor, eye level. The top of the screen is eye level. But anyway, let's talk about her elbow and about it's slightly above the desk level, even with the mouse and the keyboard. Even if she's not able to support her wrist on the desk here, I would much rather work in this position here than I would being able to support my wrist on this position because of that bicep overuse over there. Okay, here's a quick look at the spine. So when people say sit up straight, it's actually not the best advice because we can easily overextend our spine. This is a neutral spine right here with the natural curves going throughout it. This is how we want the spine to look when we're sitting for long periods of time. If we sit up straight, if we sit up too straight, we can lose some of these natural curves, and that could cause just as much issues as slouching forward could cause. Let's look at this picture here. Look here how he's slouching forward, not taking advantage of the back support. So you can tell that he's lost the natural curves there. The lumbar curve is almost non-existent. I'm actually writing an article on my website right now, ways to relieve lower back pain. And I talk about this, about how what I talked about in the earlier in this video. Look at that slouching forward with the shoulders, the rounded shoulders in the upper body, and that internal shoulder rotation. That will actually cause a lot of lower back pain because it's a chain reaction. All these muscles and tendons and vertebrae are connected one way or another. And it's like pulling on a bunch of different ropes that are tied together. Eventually, that rope at the very end is going to break. Not going to break in our case, but it's gonna be the one that's going to feel the pain. Is what is more like it. So let's talk about another mistake he's making here. He's got his foot, not one foot's flat on the floor, so that's good, but one foot is not flat on the floor. Believe it or not, this small issue right here could cause a lot of pain. I used to sit with both of my toes on the floor and both of my heels up in the air. And what that caused me to do, I had to contract my hamstrings. I did it because of stress. That's why I pulled my feet under my desk. And my chair was probably too low. That's probably why I did it. But anyway, I would contract my hamstrings unknowingly, of course, and it would pull my feet under my desk. And leaving those hamstrings contracted 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, that was incredible overuse. Those hamstrings shortened. They were overused. And that led to a lot of muscle confusion throughout my entire legs, a lot of joint dysfunction. I ended up getting 3 ankle surgeries because of a sprained ankle. But I think what triggered that sprain, the issues why I had a sprained ankle, was sitting like this and all the muscle dysfunction going on throughout my leg because I used to sit for long periods of time on my toes, not feet on the floor like his other foot is over here. Let's look at a picture here. He's got both feet flat on the floor. This is the correct picture. This is much better right here. Hamstrings are more relaxed, not being overused. Spine is neutral or balanced, I also like to call it. You can see plenty of natural curves in there. Look at that lumbar curve right there. You can tell, see, look at the lack of lumbar curve here when he's got the rounded shoulders slouching forward. Lack of lumbar curve, and then a good lumbar curve right in there. So that'll definitely decrease some lower back pain there. He's taking advantage of the back support. And that's why I like to talk about those two pictures a lot. So let's talk about one more picture here. Look at this example here. This is another good one. We'll talk about the 3 main variables that I like to talk about and that I like to practice myself, regardless if I'm sitting at a computer or if I'm standing at a computer. These 3 variables always remain the same for me. Number 1, eye level is even with the top of the monitor. Look at the picture on the left. Look at the picture on the right, same thing. Number 2, elbows are slightly above desk level to use the mouse and keyboard. Same thing on the left, same thing on the right. Elbows slightly above the desk level. Number 3, feet flat on the floor. In this case, she's got her feet on a footrest, which is fine because she has to raise her chair up high enough because the desk is so high. She has to raise her chair up too high so that she can raise her elbows above the keyboard. Not a big deal because she's got this footrest. She doesn't want to keep her feet hanging there. But I would definitely use this footrest and this correct chair height versus having my elbow below that desk level. It's 3 different variables that are, you mix and match them. There's no one way to explain how to do it. You just got to, the desk height is one variable, chair height is another variable, length of person's legs is another variable. So there's a bunch of variables to it. You just got to find what works for you. As long as those eyes are even with the top of the monitor screen, elbows slightly above the desk, and feet flat on the floor or a footrest. And that's it for today's video, Computer Posture Mistakes and Fixes, episode 22. I want to thank you guys for joining me. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You're taking a big step forward in improving your computer posture and the quality of your life. And that's definitely something to be proud of. Sign up for my free email updates if you want. This is the best way to keep up with all my content that I create. It's all free. I send out one email a week. I don't spam. I don't sell email addresses. Just one email a week on Fridays. And what I include in that email is a link to the article that I wrote for my website, as well as 2 links to the YouTube videos that I posted to my YouTube channel for that week. And if you want to sign up for that email newsletter, go to sittingposture.com/newsletter. I noticed on my last video I was saying sitting way too fast. Sittingposture.com/newsletter. That's where you can go to sign up for free email updates. And that's it for today's video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you like this video, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe. If you want to see these videos in your YouTube feed more often, that helps me out a ton. That's a great way to help support my channel if you found value in this. And the more people that see my videos, the more time I have to create more content. So I appreciate you guys. That's it. This is Todd from sittingposture.com. We'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.